How you doing, Alan?
Good.
How important is it to have a luxury brand for Ford, to have a viable luxury?
Well, I think it's really important. It's also really exciting, but it's a tremendous opportunity. We make a very good return on the Lincolns that we have today. And the neatest thing is that most of the global car companies have a good volume brand, but they also have a good luxury brand. And of course, when we had Aston Martin and Jaguar and Land Rover and Volvo, we just didn't invest as much in Lincoln. So now you can see the power of Ford now to focus on the Ford brand, which we've reinvented, but also now we have a chance to really bring Lincoln back to life again. So it's really important. It was also very fun for us.
Alan, Jaguar and Land Rover. How you doing?
Good.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Jaguar and Land Rover are doing pretty well since you sold them. Do you have any regrets about getting rid of those legitimate luxury
No, not
brands?
at all. And Keith, at the time, we always kind of forget what it was like 6 years ago. And at the time, we had all those other brands, and the world was slowing down, and 85% of our business was Ford and Lincoln. So the decisions we made was to divest Aston Martin and Jaguar and Land Rover and Volvo, not because they aren't good brands, but we wanted to have a laser focus on Ford and Lincoln as we went about this transformation. And I think we did exactly the right things. We wanted to make sure they had good homes because they're good brands, but clearly at Ford now, it's the complete family of best-in-class vehicles from Ford and now Lincoln.
The MKC is going to hit dealers real soon. What about this? When can we expect this at the dealership?
Well, I think you're seeing a concept vehicle which will refine this year during 2013, and then we'll have more to report, later this year, early next year.
How proud are you of this car?
I think it's fantastic. Not just this car, but the whole Lincoln strategy. I was a couple weekends ago. I spent the entire weekend with the new MKZ hybrid, and as you know, when I first arrived, I arrived driving a Lexus from Boeing, and I was asked what that meant to all of us, and I said, well, why do you drive a Lexus? I said, it's one of the finest vehicles in the world. They said, what does that mean to us coming to Ford? I said, I'm so excited to be here at Ford to contribute to the best vehicles in the world. When I drove that MKZ last weekend, it is absolutely world class. And so to have the MKZ in the largest segment, as you pointed out, that we're just arrived at the dealership today, and now to have the new MKC concept be in the fastest growing segment, I mean, we are positioning Ford right in the heart of the luxury market going forward.
So, would you trade your Lexus in for? Would you drive it down?
Absolutely not. I drive a different vehicle, as you know, every night, which is neat, either a Ford vehicle or our competitors, because our commitment to the consumer was that we were going to be best in class, and everybody in Ford is driving not only the Ford vehicles, but our competitors' vehicles to ensure that we do that.
What's your favorite? Do you have one?
Let's see. Oh, I do.
Yeah?
First of all, it's going to be the MKZ, the MKC, the MKX, the MK2. and also the new Navigator. And then on top of that, my other favorites are the Fiesta, the Focus, the Fusion, the Taurus, the Mustang, the Escape, the Flex, the Edge, the Explorer, the Expedition, the new Ranger, the F-Series, the E-Series, and of course now the new Transit family. And of course, if you want a really good cargo in South America, the cargo version. Those are my favorites.
Did it leave anything out?
No. So Dodge Ram has surpassed the Ford F-150 for best-in-class fuel economy. Is that something you want to get back?
Well, I think the consumers absolutely prefer Ford and the F-Series. And for 36 years, the F-Series has been the #1 vehicle in the world, and in the United States especially. And we're going to talk about pickups, full-size pickups again tomorrow. But I think our plan is to absolutely be the preferred full-size pickup going forward. And there's no reason why we can't.
What's your view for Europe?
Pardon?
What's your view
for Ford in Europe? Well, Europe is really a tough situation for all of us, and starting with the economy, because outside of Germany, I think most of the economies are now in a recession. Now, in Ford's case, we are actually implementing the same plan that we did in the United States. So the most important thing we're doing is reducing our production to the real demand. So also you don't have to discount the vehicles, but you also keep the residual values up, which is what you really want to take care of the customer. In addition, we have accelerated the implementation of all the new Ford vehicles into Europe, so the customers have these great choices, from the small vehicles all the way up to the larger ones. And then probably, the latest news is that we are moving decisively to restructure the business, just like we did in the United States, so that we can operate profitably at the lower demand. Because I think this is going to be a situation we're all facing for a while. So I'm very proud that Ford has taken the action both on the product side to serve the customers, but also on the production side to operate profitably. Because if we're going to keep serving, then we have to have a reasonable business. So I think we're doing the right thing. It's going to be tough, and it's hard on a lot of people, but we're doing the right thing to be in the business to serve the customers.
You're bringing Lincoln to China in 2014. So
Yes.
when you design that C concept and when you're thinking about it, are you thinking about it related to China?
Absolutely. And we announced a few months ago that we would be bringing the Lincoln to China in 2014. The neatest thing about the Chinese market is their appreciation and their respect for heritage. It's just incredible. I mean, they, 98% access to the internet. They watch all the trends. They know all the history, and they love the Lincoln brand. They love what it stands for. It's named for a fantastic president. All of the models over the years, elegant design and innovative technology, and so they absolutely love the Lincoln brand. And now what they've seen now the MKZ, and now when they see the MKC concept, and the fact that we're going to have 7, a full family of these, that's why you're seeing this great demand. So, coming from China. So I think it's going to be very, very, very popular in China.
Alan, your stock's been on a tear, particularly
Speak louder, everybody.
particularly since your Europe restructuring announcements. What are investors saying? How do you read that?
Well, as you know, Keith, you've covered this very well. We don't manage for day-to-day stock price. We manage for longer-term value creation. And you do that by making products that people really do want and value, and you do it with ever-improving quality and productivity. So I think what you're seeing today clearly is the value of the One Ford plan. They love the family of vehicles. They love the balance around the world of serving all the customers. They like it that we're the fastest growing brand in Asia Pacific. They like that we're restructuring in Europe. They like our competitive position in the United States, not only with the product line, but also our operational efficiency with our operating margins. And also, we've moved to investment grade now, so our cost of capital is less. We reduced our debt from nearly $35 billion to around 14 on our way to our mid-decade guidance. And then, of course, we've reinstated the dividend, and now we've doubled the dividend, which is another clear indication of how we believe in the future that we can sustain the dividend through even a downturn. So all of that's reflected in the value of the corporation and why you're seeing it being valued today. So again, it's really just another tremendous proof point of the value of this One Ford profitably growing company.
Can we expect tomorrow?
Oh, hi, how are you?
Hi,
Nice
how
job.
are you? Thank you.
That was a good job.
So do you think, is this the year though that Wall Street is starting to recognize the value of the auto industry in general? Because there's always been a sense that all of you guys are not really recognized for...
Well, I think that's probably true because of just the performance to date. Because when you look at, especially in the United States, the GDP, the economic development, it's really been led, the foundation has been manufacturing, and the manufacturing has been led by the automobile industry. So, and you look at the value of it, probably nearly 15% of the U.S. GDP is associated with manufacturing. 70% of all the research and development around the world is associated with manufacturing. So as we're creating these products that people want and value, especially with the average age being over 11 years, this is really a very important foundation in business for the United States, but also for around the world. And in Ford's case, the fact that we have this broad, complete family of best-in-class vehicles and the way people appreciate them, I think it's going to really serve us well going forward. And people are they're just appreciating. That's what the data says.
There was an auto exec today who estimated that with the pending debt ceiling fiasco, 500,000 units could be lost in the U.S. this year if something is to come of that. Do you see it as that dire of a situation where it could affect the auto industry that significantly?
Well, just like the hi Jeff, just like the fiscal cliff, it's so much bigger than either the fiscal cliff or the debt ceiling, because it's really about all of us coming together about almost like a business plan that's viable for the United States. And that means that we need to live within our means, and we need to reduce the debt, we need to reduce the deficits, including the trade deficits, and we need to do everything we can to create an environment where businesses can grow. So I think that's the real conversation. Every one of these in-between things are just one thing to deal with. What I'm encouraged about is this broader debate that we're having about what are we going to do to create an environment where businesses can grow and economic development can grow. And we are so pleased to participate in that, to be asked our opinion about it, and also be delivering as the foundation for economic development in the United States.
Mr. Mulally,
Yes, sir.
congratulations on the performance in North America.
Thank you.
Just give us a quick update on the Australian operations and if there's a review of the stock.
Oh, sure. Good day, mate.
How you going?
Well, we got a good operation in Australia, as you know. We've been very pleased to support the Australian customers over the years. Clearly, our last actions are we've been continuing to invest in our products, as you know, and we'll continue to evaluate that going forward. As you also know, the model mix is changing. The bigger vehicles are getting less. The customers are appreciating more smaller, medium-sized vehicles. So no matter what, we are going to absolutely use our One Ford plan to serve those Australian customers. That was something that we continue to evaluate. Right now, we are continuing to invest, and so that's our plan for now. And we'll continue to evaluate that going forward. Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Talk about Ford's presence in Canada.
I like it that you listen to yourself. Yes, in Canada?
Yes.
Oh, Canada. We've been, I think, the number one brand for 80% of the years recently, and the number one brand again this year. I'll never forget, just as an aside, on the first year that I arrived, I helped launch the new Edge in Oakville, Canada, with Wayne Gretzky. Oh my gosh, that was exciting. And we got a great operation, we got a great leader there. They love the Ford products, and so we're going to make sure that all of the Ford products are available to the customers inside Canada.
And the federal government just announced that it's renewing its innovation fund, $250 million. How do you plan on tapping into that?
Well, I think just like we have over time, the public-private partnership between the Canadian government and the manufacturers has proved to be so beneficially successful for everybody. So we'll continue to work very closely with them. How are you?
Fine, and you?
Good.
So what are you expecting for Brazilian market this year?
Brazil rocks. Well, as you know, we love Brazil. We have a tremendous manufacturing presence there. And the neatest thing that we're doing in Brazil and South America is now bringing in all the next generation of vehicles, all off the One Ford plan. The EcoSport is going to be a fantastic vehicle, the new Fusion, the Fiesta. So I think the best thing we can do is to bring in that complete family of vehicles. And we're very pleased with our operations there.
And you start to produce a new Fiesta there this year?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's really neat because our operations there, are some of the most efficient in the world. And also, again, this public-private partnership between the Brazil government and industry has turned out to be mutually beneficial for everybody. It's a great plan, great leadership.
We did over 2 million sales on the Ford brand, I think, in the US last year.
I think it was the number one brand in the United States. Keith said that Ford was the number one brand in the United States last year. Did you all get that? Okay, and he's a very reliable.
So you're back to pre-recession levels, I guess. Is the industry back? Is that where we're at now?
Well, I think it really goes with economic development. And last year I think we ended up around 14.8 million. I think our best guidance, based on a 2 to 2.5% GDP expansion, is maybe between 15 and 16 million vehicles. It's a good growth. It's consistent with the economic expansion, but also it's really substantiated by the average age of the vehicles being over 11 years. Because you buy a new vehicle today with the quality and the fuel efficiency and reliability and the maintenance costs, and you can economically obsolete an older vehicle. So people really, it's just a tremendous market now to buy a new vehicle. In Ford's case, I'm just so pleased that we invested during the toughest of times, and that lineup from the Fiesta all the way through the F-Series is, many people believe, is the finest lineup ever in the United States. And so we're pleased to have invested, and we're ready to absolutely serve our customers in the United States.
Take one more.
Sorry, I don't know this from you from Australia. You say you're investing in the manufacturing in Australia, but you're investing in a large car being built there, which, as you admit, is a declining market. Is that an intelligent way to go with things? What does that say for the future of Australia?
Well, I think that in every market segment, they're all very important, and we've been honored to serve the larger vehicle market in Australia. And so that investment is to support that operation there. I think that the question that we're all going to deal with going forward is where is the Australian market going to go? What are the vehicles that people are really going to want to value? Now, the neatest thing about Ford is that we have the most complete family of vehicles, and we absolutely love serving the Australian customers. So one way or the other, we're going to find a way to provide these vehicles to the Australian market.
Can a small car be built in Australia?
Yes. It's very interesting that worldwide the market is growing to probably around 8% of the total market this year. And so one of the reasons that we are continuing to invest in Lincoln is we've got a great opportunity to serve the luxury market. And it's going to be a great opportunity for us in Mexico. And the reason that we are really focusing on the smaller size vehicles is that the consumer, especially through this last recession worldwide, they're moving away from the really bigger vehicles or luxury. They're in really mass volumes. They really want luxury in the smaller vehicles, and they want better value for it because they want the luxury experience, they want the luxury vehicles, but they also want good value, which is perfect for us with Lincoln in Mexico and around the world.
Alan, talk about concept cars and how you view them. I mean, this is pretty much a road-ready concept.
How are you?
Right? Good. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Well, you guys know a lot about this, but what I think is neat about the concept cars, and you look at them through the 6 years I've been here, and they really do give a direction, to your point, a really clear direction of where we're going. Now there'll be refinements and stuff, but our concept cars, as opposed to a number of people, are really telegraphing and communicating where we're going. So this is where we're going. Now, will it be a little bit different? Yeah. The same way we've done in the past, even on the full-size pickups, on all of them, right? In the past. They have really telegraphed where we are going. And we're really looking forward tomorrow to the Ford press conference to show you some insights, thoughts about where we're going with the rest of the Ford products.